So around October of 2022, I decided to take my friend Howie, my sister, and I up to go check out a Volkswagen bus here in Ohio. I did not know how to drive stick at the time, which is why I brought Howie. Howie decided to give it a test drive, and it drove okay, drove decent. There was a pretty decent amount of rust damage on the cargo floor. Comparatively to other Volkswagens of that year, it was not terrible. And so I came back about a month later with cash in hand, bought it for $5,500. The guy who owned it before me sadly did some really whack repairs to it and modifications, like the stick shift right here, which is like twice the length that it needs to be. There was also a number of numerous holes drilled into the cargo floor because there was water that would be pooling up in there, and he didn't want it pooling up and rusting more, which I had to eventually take out the entire floor to fix.
I got it. Oh my god, I just drove to the auto parts store. Gonna get a new brake light, because apparently I don't have a brake light. I thought I did. I'm missing a brake light. Gonna get a new bulb, and then I'm gonna drive back to the house, fix it, and then take it home.
Ended up fixing that broken taillight and heading to breakfast in Barberton, then decided to make my way home. So once I got home, I decided to start stripping out the Volkswagen and kind of assess the damage. The majority of the rust was, on the cargo floor and in the rockers, and I ended up having to cut a lot of that out, way more than I thought I was going to have to.
What, the seat?
Yes!
Oh, you probably have to lock it in place.
You think I know how to do that?
After taking it on some joy rides, it was finally time to park it for good and start cutting. Sadly, I do not have a shop to work in, but sitting in the driveway is my Volkswagen bus. I can finally get started to cut, and I decided to start on the driver's side rocker first, just because it was the most obvious rust damage that I could see, and I just started digging in more and more and more, and the more I started digging, the more rust I ended up finding. But thankfully, I had already ordered some parts before I even started cutting, and I was able to start my patchwork. This is going to be part 1 of my restoration series. I will start breaking down exactly how I ended up repairing each part, and so the next video is going to be breaking down the driver's side rocker panel.